What's up, Jess? Am I lagging, y'all? Let me know if I'm lagging. What's up, Caitlin? Hey, Aaron. You see me? Let me know if I'm lagging, y'all, because I have a new camera, but I haven't been able to use it because it's been lagging. So are my words matching my mouth? It's still looking blurry. I think it's just my raggedy internet. What's up, Lexi? I know y'all see who it is on the screen. Deanna and Greg are expecting. I am so excited for Deanna and Greg. They're like literally, I think they're my favorites. My favorite couple ever from Married at First Sight. And I just cannot believe they're having a baby. I'm so mad. I got this camera and I can't even use it to its highest level of quality because it'll lag. But yeah, I'm so excited for them. I haven't really been watching their little like quarantine show, the couples cam or something like that. I haven't really been watching it, but I did hear that she had been talking about wanting to have a baby. And so I'm so happy for them that they can finally have their little baby. And I feel like they waited a good amount of time too. They didn't like jump into it like Jeff D and Shanice. Deanna was determined to get pregnant. I'm so happy. Oh, yeah, I'm happy for them. I watched it a little in the beginning, but I haven't been lately. Me either. I never really watched it too much in the first place because, it was like based around like being stuck in a house. And that didn't really interest me watching other people be stuck in a house. But make sure you guys leave a like on the way in. We're gonna be talking about obviously this last episode. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Deanna and Greg both announced on their page. So if you go to their Instagram pages, that's where I got this picture from. All right, let's talk about the couples from this season. Let's start with Bennett and Amelia. Now, what is there to say about Bennett and Amelia? They're perfect for each other. I don't have too much to say. Like, I feel like they communicate well. Hopefully they stay on the right track. But the only thing that got me is I'm like with this whole hygiene and cleaning the house thing, I'm like they tripped me out with having these dirty feet and dirty socks on the couch and not wanting to clean up. I like Bennett and Amelia, but Bennett looks like he doesn't bathe, and that's concerning. I'll just never forget when his mom like was like badgering him like, did you clean up? Did you wash your hair? Did you do this? Like on his wedding day. And I'm like, I don't know, they both seem a little less excited about each other to me in this last episode. I don't know. I think they're a little bit more into each other. I mean, they consummated their marriage. Amelia did all these sweet gestures for him. I feel like they're, settling into each other nicely. Yeah, I guess as long as they like it, I love it, I guess. It couldn't be me. Bennett and Amelia are one of the best matched couples. I agree. But you know what? Now that I think about it, like those hippie types, they're not really the most like hygienic. Girl, and in front of the cameras, he could have asked him if he washed when the cameras weren't around. Exactly. And then this whole sock thing is like, you need some socks. You're a grown man. Go buy you some socks. Like, I really didn't understand that. He probably had the same socks. I think so. I mean, he literally was saying like he had the same two pair of socks, so I wouldn't be shocked. They do not talk about their personal business, and I respect them. Yeah, right. Um, I can respect that too. Like they told like that it happened, but they didn't go into detail. They didn't have to go into detail. Thank you, Alex. What does he do? He has his own theater company, and he's a part-time landscape assistant or something like that. He rides people around on his bike, and it has a little thing on the back. What do you call that? He got a bunch of little a little odds and ends jobs. Right. Like he could at least watch them. Okay, so he's poor. Well, Amelia plans on taking care of him and him being a stay-at-home daddy. So he has about 5 part-time jobs. So hopefully 5 of those jobs, you know, make one. I didn't know he worked. Pedicab, that's the name of it. Thank you. He drives a pedicab. Pinky, that don't bring in money. I mean, I y'all asked me what did he do. I just told y'all what he did. I didn't say he made money. I just told you that's what he said he did. I'm just repeating it. That's fine. She needs to buy him some socks then. He truly lives that bohemian theater lifestyle, which is normal for that type because they have flexibility for auditions and performances. If Amelia don't care, then I don't. I'm over the nightgown. Now he do need another nightgown. You need some more socks, and you need to get you some pajama pants. Bennett looks like he can't drive a car. I hope that's not the case because he gonna have to go pick up the kids. Amelia ain't gonna have time for that unless he gonna pick them up in the pedicab. Well, if he's gonna be a stay-at-home dad, he needs to learn how to sweep. Bennett was not sweeping. Bennett was not sweeping. I remember being a little kid and sweeping like similar to that, sweeping the wrong way, and my grandma being like, you ain't sweeping nothing. You ain't getting nothing done like that. Let me show you how to sweep. I remember that so clearly because she was like, you ain't getting nothing done like that. That is not really sweeping. And so you got to put your back into it. You got to really get up in that corner. He wasn't sweeping nothing. He was sweeping stuff into a circle. Sweeping like a cartoon. Oh my goodness. If it, I'm finna switch to the other video, y'all, because I can kind of see that it's lagging. And it's not the best quality, but at least my mouth will be moving. Okay. Just moving the broom back and forth. Oh. Okay, okay. Let's move on from Bennett and Amelia. Let's move on to Amani and Woody. Now, I think it's crazy that Woody has already fallen for Amani. It was not crazy, but he's like full force, like full steam ahead. He's falling right in. He's like, really putting his all into it. And Amani, she's still a little skeptical, even though she's like giving in more than some people. She's still a little skeptical. What kills me is that he was low key implying somebody need to clean him. You know what? I didn't think about it. Why didn't he just do it? If the bathroom need to be clean, clean it. But anyway, Woody took Sweets to get her nails done. I know, that was so sweet. I want Woody to keep his hair combed if he's gonna have this man. But I agree. Now, that's not my thing personally. But either you need to be getting your hair braided like it was at the wedding, or you need to be getting a haircut, lining that up, and constantly grooming it. But it's like he be sweating it out or something, and you want to talk about people's hair, so your hair need to be on point. Oh, that burger, that was hilarious. I laughed so hard. I watched that like 5 times. My grandma cannot stand his hair, by the way. Like every time she see it, like, why don't he do something with his hair? Woody did not do. Wait, what? Woody did not do his shoulder dance this time. He's in love. I kind of felt bad for Woody. He seemed hurt when she said she wasn't in love. Well, I'm glad she was honest. I mean, I think he did feel a way about it, but I'm glad she like did a gesture to show him that I do care about you. I am in this, but and she also told him why. So hopefully that doesn't affect the way he, is towards her. I'm with your grandma on that one, not a fan. Amani, I feel like he shouldn't be telling her how to do her hair when his looks. For him to be so into his looks, I'm shocked that he don't keep that up. Exactly. I just think he needs to go and get a haircut. I mean, you can leave some on top, but if you can't keep that long hair up, you just need to cut it. I like them, but Woody talks too fast and Amani talks too slow, and it's hard watching them. Woody do be talking real fast, and Amani do be talking kind of slow. But I think Amani, she's like analytical, like she is thinking about what she's saying. Like she just doesn't say things right off the top of her head. And you could tell Woody he's saying what's on his mind. Like I don't think he's really filtering much that comes out of his mouth. And she's kind of the opposite. So I think that's why he talks so fast and she kind of goes a little slow. Woody got my haircut, but I have regular hair on top of mine. I don't know about the perm or whatever. You think he got a perm? OMG, yes, he talks too so slow. She talks to everyone. Wait, the comment went too fast. She talks to everyone like she thinks they're stupid. I don't think she's doing that. I actually think she talks with a lot of care and concern for people. Amani says she does her own hair so she can hook him up. Hopefully she know how to do some cornrows. Amani and Karen talking slow motion. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I love Woody's accent, the only one with the NOLA accent. Exactly. I like his accent. I like the way he talks. It can be a little fast, but I think I'm just used to hearing that. Oh, y'all are going in on Amani. She just be trying to make sure she's speaking with clarity. Now my people says Woody looks like Sammy Davis Jr. You know what? He does. He does look like Sammy Davis Jr. He also looks like Lloyd, but Lloyd kind of looks like Sammy Davis Jr. They all have that nose and a similar skin tone. Woody has a NOLA accent because he is from there. Amani is not from NOLA and Miles is not from NOLA. Okay. I just hope he doesn't leave after the honeymoon stage leaves. He is so into her to the point where it's kind of infatuation. I couldn't finish the rest of it. I think she is good for him because she kind of brings him back to reality. Exactly. And she doesn't like, just because he's like so in and just so like, so fast about things, she doesn't let him rush her. And I like that. I like that she's honest with him. I think she is going to pull in the reins a little bit on him. I do have to turn on the closed caption sometimes. He be talking real fast. Oh my goodness. I think Woody is all in. Me too. Man, Woody wants it to work. He's the player that wants to settle down. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I didn't mean Lloyd was from New Orleans. I meant he looks like Lloyd. I don't know where Lloyd is from. I think he's infatuated too. He's caught up in his excitement. Amani is super thoughtful. I like that she holds Woody to his word. Uh-huh. But low key, I didn't like that he sometimes doesn't reply to her text. Y'all caught that? I think it was the other way around. Well, no. Maybe those times where he wasn't replying, it was like he was trying to surprise her with something. And so that's why she didn't really text him back when she was trying to surprise him. Lloyd is from ATL. Okay. I didn't know. Oh, somebody saying that he from New Orleans. I don't know, y'all. All right, that's enough of Amani and Woody. We love them. That's it. Like they're on the right track. Let's move on to Brett and Olivia. Okay, he's from New Orleans and he moved to ATL. Okay. Amani is the example of how to do this process right. She's open but cautious without being cold, like someone we know. Oh my goodness, we are gonna get to them. Oh, okay. Brett and Olivia. Brett was doing too much. He was doing too much. He was doing the most with the least. I knew this joking around and being funny. I knew that was gonna be too much. Sarcastic about everything, and it is very irritating. It's like Brett is too insecure for this. He really is. He needs to learn to love himself before he can be in a relationship with somebody. Do we have to talk about them? Olivia gets on my nerves too. Both of them, really. It's like, for me, it's like every episode is either one or the other or both. You like Brett. He's funny and cute. Okay. You in the minority in this chat, but okay. Olivia's face hardly changed. um, I don't know. It was just so annoying when she was trying to be serious, and he just was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to be able to understand my humor to be with me," as if he's just so funny. I didn't understand that. And then, I mean, just like you see that she's trying to take it serious. Can't you read the room? Like, I just don't get it. And then when they went to that to do the whole to look at the alligators, the swamp tour, he just had a terrible attitude the whole time, like until the end. It took like them to actually bring out some animals to warm him up, but he had a nasty attitude that whole time. He doesn't want to read the room. He hasn't made me laugh once. Thank you. It's all been very corny. Oh, BJ said he funny looking, not funny. He's childish. Chooses sarcasm to avoid combos that make him uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Cause it's like, look, time out for that. Even Woody know when to be serious. Woody is also someone that's very like goofy, and he like to have fun too. But when it come to being serious, he is going to take that minute and tell you, how he feel. He gonna be real. And that's how I know Brett is insecure, because he's scared. I think he is scared to literally open back up because of what happened to him before. He trying to maintain his position, if not having to pay money to have fun. He needs to lighten up. Exactly. That probably is what he's doing. Like, I'm not having fun anyway, so it's definitely not worth the money. He's so combative and defensive, doesn't agree with anything she says. He's like the douchebag in high school that picks on everyone. Yep, the jerk. Or maybe he was the one who got picked on and now he's the jerk. I don't know. It's one of the two. I don't care for either one of them, but of the two, I like Olivia. Do you mean the least? These comments are going fast. Oh, shout out to the 110 people in the room. Make sure you leave a like. Wow, cute is not the adjective I would use. Maybe to describe the cat. He is condescending. Yes, he is condescending too. Because I'm on his side some of the time. Like, when it comes to the finances and him budgeting, when it comes to, looking at their major issues, that's something they should address instead of focusing on the small things. I agree. But it's the way he communicates that is, ugh. How could anybody receive that? Why would anybody want to receive that? And I'm surprised Olivia hadn't snapped on him more than she already have at this point. Cause it's the way that it's the way that he relays these messages. Brett has low self-esteem, very insecure. He needs therapy. I agree. I really enjoyed the tour too. The tour guide sounded like Woody, and it made me happy. I know, like that's one of the reasons why you go to New Orleans, is to like see the culture and the things that they do there. And he just, like, I mean, yeah, the guy was a little corny, but it's like sometimes it's fun when people are corny and they show you the different thing. Like, humor the man. You want somebody to humor you with your corny jokes? Exactly. Attitude so bad you don't even want to agree. Olivia is too uptight. She wants a rich man who wants to spend a lot of money. They should have never been matched knowing Brett likes to save and stay home. Maybe they thought he would be a little bit more flexible with that. Maybe they thought that maybe he would be more compromising. And maybe they thought Olivia would be more compromising. But I just don't see much like what else about their personalities match other than they like animals. Because I haven't really seen much that gel. Like if they had a few other things, but you just don't see much with them, much chemistry at all. She is condescending also. She can be, but I feel like it could possibly be a defense mechanism but from how he acts. He acts like he know everything and he know what's best all the time. They might be the worst match. I don't see the compatibility on any level. I agree. What's up, Cliff? I think Olivia is just saying, oh man, I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed your comment. Olivia really wanted to tell Amani that she wants to leave, but she is all about image. She wanted to say more, but I think she's trying to be loyal to Brett still. But I think when he really mess up, she gonna tell it all. The fact that Olivia is indifferent about having children and Brett definitely wants them is ridiculous that they were matched. I do agree about that. Like if somebody definitely wants kids and then you have someone that's like on the fence, they shouldn't be married. Period. Because I think even though I feel like Olivia says she's on the fence about it just to be like politically correct, and she knows that women, get judged for not wanting kids or not wanting to be a mother, and so she doesn't want that judgment. I really think she just does not want kids. And that's her choice. If that's what she, what I'm saying, if that's how she feels, I don't want her to be a mother if she doesn't want to be a mother. But she shouldn't have been matched with Brett. I think sometimes people expect women to give in and give her husband babies. Oh man, these comments moving too fast. It looks like you're ready to read one. Give her husband babies because society puts that obligation on women. I agree. Some women just don't want to be a mother. And I'd rather you not be a mother than to be a negligent mother, mother that's not present. Um, you take out the fact that you didn't want kids on your child because that's gonna make for a traumatic experience for your kid. You know, the baby don't deserve that to feel like the mama don't love them or treat them a type of way. None of them like Brett. They are so shady. I thought it was interesting. First of all, has Brett been on any of the unfiltered episodes? Because I haven't watched all of them, but I have seen like the preview before they turn on the show. And I don't believe I've ever seen Brett and I haven't seen Christina. I'm trying to see. I saw Henry was on the last one. Um, but have y'all noticed that? He has? Okay. Well, I know Christina ain't been on there. Okay, he was on there. Well, it does seem like they don't like Brett, but Brett is also someone who's very standoffish, and you know what I'm saying. Like I understand you don't wanting to keep your business to yourself, but you can. There's a way to be genuine without telling all your business. And he just comes off as a little fake. I feel like that's what Woody was trying to say without saying it, or maybe Amelia was trying to clean up what Woody really said about Brett. Because I have a feeling he did not put it in those words. All right, you guys. So let's move on from them. We spent enough time. Remember when we thought Brett and Woody would mesh? Glad that didn't happen. Exactly. Exactly. I don't think the producers like Christina. I think she might have like made some people mad behind the scenes with her attitude, because that is kind of shady that she hasn't been on Unfiltered. This was Henry and Christina's best episode. I'm actually like, I got a little bit of hope with them. Henry doesn't like Christina. I think he might be warming up a little bit. He put in a lot more effort than he ever has this episode. Like, he stepped up with communicating. Even though I wanted him to do more, he was talking. And that's all we could ask for him at this point. He was talking. He planned 2 outings, one in his comfort zone, one out of his comfort zone. And he really gave it all, his all. So I'm gonna have to give him his props, because he did this episode. Henry did better than he has this entire time. I was shocked by them too, Caitlin. No hope. Y'all don't have no hope. I want to have a little bit of hope, because I think the fact that Christina would, like, she actually, opened up to him and told him that she has a problem with ADD and she wasn't taking her medicine, and maybe that was affecting her attitude. It really could. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on that. And so maybe he is too. Maybe he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna give her another chance. When in actuality, I feel like he need to be asking for another one too. Do y'all think she was lying about the ADHD that came out of left field? It did, but it seems like her mother has shamed her about it, especially taking medicine. She said that her mother like was against her taking medicine, and so maybe because her mother was against it, she felt the need to hide it. I Maybe she thought it was embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? You just never know how someone might react to something like that. I don't know. She could have been very insecure about it. He showed interest. He did. I wonder if Christina auditioned uh medicated. That's a good, you know what? Because she said that she had been off of it for a month. And at that point, they had been together for like 2 weeks. So it could very well be that she was medicated during her auditions and, applying for the process. And we got the Christina that was not on her meds. Christina said she had ADHD so Henry can fall for her like he did for his women friends. Henry missed some crucial moments to create some physical intimacy between them, hugging her, holding her hand, cozying up to her on the golf course. I agree, but I also, you got to remember it's still Henry. It's still Henry. I wanted him to as well. Like when she was opening up and telling him, I have ADHD, I haven't been taking my medicine. That was the time to be like, look, I'm here for you. At least hold her hand, at least put your arm around her, hug her. It's going to be all right. It sounded fake, but she always sounds like she's not telling the truth. She was not on her meds because sis didn't have a job to pay for them. Oh my goodness. Kelsey, I did not mean to read that out loud. I don't think she's lying about having ADHD. I don't want to accuse her of lying, y'all, because you just never know. You never know. And that's not an uncommon thing to be diagnosed with. Christina said she had ADHD. Oh, I already read that. Henry said he likes small, petite women. They're wrong for matching him with Christina. Well, Christina, it's not like she's like huge. I mean, so y'all think Henry has already checked out. ADD is nothing to lie about. She's not lying. Exactly. It's not like she said she had, and not to shame anyone with this, but it's not like she said she was bipolar, you know what I'm saying? She said she had ADD, and a lot, like, that's commonly diagnosed. Now, it affects people in different ways, but I could see her being frustrated because she's not able to concentrate because her mind is constantly running. I could see that. And like on her wedding day, it's like when she gets rude, when she gets frustrated because it seems like when I look back on it, it's like she was extremely at her wedding, she was nervous and she was just ready to get to it. She's ready to walk down the aisle. She was just, it was like intense. She was just ready to get it over with. She's taller than him. That's a hard pass from Henry. Is she taller than him? They are my first bet to divorce. Dang, y'all don't have no hope for them at all. I feel like I'm the only one. I want to hear it say, and I suffer from. Thank you. Thank you. She opened up, and Henry, that was your turn to be like, look, this is what I have. Even if you haven't been diagnosed with it, you have an eye contact problem. You have that. So that should be, that should have been his segue to be like, look, I have a problem looking people in the eye. And, maybe that's a part of the reason why I haven't been able to like move forward. And, they could talk about it. Henry is scared of his shadow. That girl is better than me. No one wants a man that is not confident at all. Oh, I do think that he needs some help. And honestly, I don't think she likes him either. I think she wants him to like her because she thinks she's the mom and can't stand the idea that he's not blown away by her. Wow. I think she's stuck on her ex, honestly. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the truth. I feel like they have had this combo, but just not on camera. Maybe. I don't blame Henry for not opening up. He called her all day and she never responded. This makes the combo disingenuous. Well, he did just storm out the day before. Like they weren't on the best of terms, And maybe it took her like being out with her friends and her friends getting her together and be like, look, you was wrong in this situation. So she came home and apologized. I was confident at the wedding when he pulled her away from the friends. Oh man, these comments going so fast I can't hardly read them. Um, okay, he was confident at the wedding when he pulled her away from the friends. She literally said, "OMG, sexy, something happened between the reception and honeymoon that turned him off completely." I think that admission was a conscious attempt to improve, public perception of her, she knows she was coming off as and trying to soften her image. Possibly, but I don't think she's lying about having ADD and possibly being off her meds. Pinky, I'm mad you pointed out that he had her in his phone as Christina MAFS. Because, like, how do you have your... First of all, we know that you're on Married at First Sight. Why do you have this woman in your phone as Christina Married at First Sight? Someone said in the comments, how many Christinas do you have in your phone that you have to label her that? And my whole thing was, that's your wife. Like, even if you're going to put Christina and then like a label, put like Christina, my wife, or Christina, you know, my spouse, something, not Married at First Sight. Like, these are just your other like castmates on the show. He was only talking more because he had the support of his friends and family there. So many people are stuck on their exes, Karen, Christina, Brett. And it seems like they signed up for the show as like a knee-jerk reaction to like a bad breakup. But if he is on the spectrum, he might feel like he is trying. Also, he does have social awareness problem. I think we are expecting things of him that he might not see. Possibly, he could have that issue and have never been diagnosed. So he doesn't know how to cope. She is his castmate. That's it. He did mention it, but she brought it up. Two disappointed people, something they have in common. And remember, we have previews of a future show where she's telling Pastor Cal that she has, where he is telling Pastor Cal that she has been untruthful. I bet you anything he's referring to the ADHD. Well, if he is, then I'm gonna eat my words, but I'm gonna believe her until then. Y'all have to watch this week's Unfiltered. Henry was in the hot seat, was there with Woody and Miles, and he was very direct and spicy. I'm gonna have to watch it. Because we know he have that side to him. Can any of you women see yourself with Henry for a lifetime? I'm sure there's somebody out there that acts just like Henry and will love to be with Henry. And then there are some women that are very like, they have very big personalities, very dominant personalities that wouldn't mind being with Henry. Have y'all ever seen those relationships where a woman is very, very dominant and they have a very like docile, quiet husband? That works for some people. Henry can find his mate just like Bennett and Amelia. Exactly. If Bennett or Amelia got matched up with anyone else on this show, it would have been a disaster. The same way as it's a disaster with Christina and Henry and Olivia. Well, yeah, Olivia and Brett. It would be a disaster because they need someone like one another. So I feel like if Henry got matched up with someone that was more similar to him, maybe it could have worked better. Jamie asked Henry, do you see yourself getting physical with Christina or kissing? He basically said yes if she acts right. I clutched my pearls. Oh, I low-key would rock with Henry. Okay, Dara said she would rock with Henry. Because they hygiene is something that is a big no. You talking about Bennett and Christina? Henry is the white Norbit. Oh my goodness. No, you didn't. I don't know why that was so funny. Oh, okay. Okay. That was funny. Norbert has more personality. Well, how we know Rasputia didn't bring that personality there? Him? I don't know why, but I'm just picturing Henry with like Honey Boo Boo's mama or something like that. Like the white version of Rasputia. Oh, y'all. Y'all gotta stop. I cannot. I cannot. Uh, y'all took me out with that. I can't. I can't. Okay. I think I was the only one that was taken out that hard by it, but that was so funny to me. I want to see them win, but I think once Henry is fed up, it's a wrap. I agree. Henry does stay with a drink and stiff as a board. He needs a glass of wine to get through his scene. Oh, what Cliff up here saying? I know he up here. Mika would choke Henry as much as I don't like her. I couldn't blame her for it. She look, she put up with Michael for a long time. She did. I think she probably would have had more patience for Henry than she would Michael. Because at least Henry, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't lying. Henry is always smiling and looking away. It's like preschool or something. He should come clean about his diagnosis. Maybe he hasn't been diagnosed. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to move on from them. Let's talk about y'all favorite couple. Montre. Montre. I told y'all I couldn't do this. Not if he's going to keep on lying. I can't do it. You keep conveniently leaving that out, Cliff. Michael was a liar, like Tara said. He pushed her to her breaking point a lot of times. Yeah, I mean, I can see why Henry has friends because he does have his funny moments. All right, let's see what y'all saying about Caitlyn cannot stand Karen. You know what? I was watching it with my grandma last night, and she cannot stand Karen. She was so mad at her. She was so mad at Karen. She was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt last time, but she was over her this episode. Karen is also used to being the youngest. She hates being a cougar. She likes older men. The thing is, their age difference is not that big. He's 26, she's 30. They are in the same age bracket. Yeah, he's younger, but she acts like her mindset is that of someone that's 50. Like she acts like she's like so much older and she wants one of these hard working men and work with his hands, and that's she acts like maybe she only dated like much older men because she acts like she's only like used to a much older man. I felt that way. I felt like she acted real old when she didn't know he was doing Salt Bae. Who don't know that that's been on social media within the past, I don't know, 5 years? Everybody know who Salt Bae is. I'm like, well, maybe she really do. Maybe she really acts old. She has like an old soul or something. But she don't dress like that. She dresses young. She likes older men. She said that, and then they gave her miles. That's a disservice to both of them. But the thing is, like, I think what the experts was trying to do was give her somebody that they thought she needed, not necessarily what she wanted. Like, that's what happens. I might have to say this every week. That's what happens when you put what you put your spouse into someone else's hands. They can't give you every single thing that you wanted. They might have given her everything else on her list, but two things. And they thought, well, maybe she could, they could compromise and work past it. But those just happen to be the two things that she's harping on. Well, that last old man, dang, I wanted to read that comment. Hold on. I lost it. Well, she said 27 to 37, and Pastor Cal told him he'll be 27 eventually. Pastor Cal something else. Well, her last old man cheated on her and made a baby. That's the thing. Like, he might not meet your age requirement, but he might meet every other requirement that you didn't even know you wanted or needed. You've been picking the wrong type of man. You have requirements that, I mean, really, if the man have everything else or mostly everything else, what does age mean? Who cares? It's not like men can, usually when people do age requirements, maybe, they want a younger woman so she can have a baby or something like that. But her age requirement doesn't mean anything, because men can be older and be real immature. I've dealt with a couple. Like, older doesn't mean more mature by any means. Girl, she just want to find a problem. Some women get stuck on petty stuff like age and height. Oh, yes. I used to be that way, but I was my early 20s thinking like that. But I wanted someone that was like skinny, tall, this and that. None of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter at all. Looks don't matter at all. Age really don't matter too much. Unless we talking about now, if they gave her somebody 18 years old, complain. But this man, not only is he 26 years old, he has a degree, working on another one, master's degree. He helps to run a school. He's doing things that most 26-year-olds have not achieved yet in life, which would take him to another maturity level. I mean, I'm not saying, okay, you're right. Let me not go too far. Looks do matter to the person that is, looks do matter to a certain degree. But what I mean is, you're so stuck on, some people be stuck on the fact, oh, I want somebody that's light skinned with curly hair, or I want somebody that's this, but you meet someone that meets like a lot of your other requirements, but you turn them down because they don't look like what you want. That's what I mean. Not necessarily, Karen doesn't know what she wants. Miles is great, but too young for Karen. You have to be taller than me. Sorry. Age matters 100%. I talked to a guy younger than me. He was a fool. He was 5 years younger than me. Too much of an age difference. You could meet somebody 5 years older than you, and he could be the same kind of fool. Now, I know a lot more younger guys are immature than older, obviously, But there are a lot of older guys that present themselves as mature, or they're mature when it comes to maybe their finances and, you know, their careers, but when it comes to relationships, they're extremely immature. They're emotionally immature. So, I mean, you can't go by age every single time. Not as long as they don't look like an expired rat. I'm out of here. I'm done. Miles, it's time to call Karen's mama. Oh, yes. I need her mother to come in and lay her out. That's what I need. Because I know her mama look like the type that'll do it. Look, Miles is a good man. You better give him a chance. Her parents approves. She knows what he wants, but she wants my best. He might win her. Oh man, he might win her over if he curse her out like she deserves. I can't. That skin color crap is just annoying, but hey, exist. I just don't like the anti-blackness attached to it. I feel like all of that is rooted in anti-blackness, honestly, and colorism. If you'll deny someone just based off their skin tone, that's a issue. That's a problem. It's not necessarily a preference. A, a, I feel like preferences are more like personality traits, like character traits. Miles is great on paper and handsome. He just doesn't carry himself confidently. Miles don't know his worth. Like he does, but he doesn't. I know Miles' family got to be watching this, especially his mom and sister, because they told her from the beginning not to play with him. And I feel like if they get a whiff of this, they're gonna come and come to her woman to woman. He does act a little thirsty, but I still like him. I think he's acting thirsty because he's trying to make her comfortable. He wants to make her comfortable. He's doing everything he can to like open himself up, open herself up so they can settle into being husband and wife. But she has this wall up. He's trying to break it down. Miles needs to pull back and ask Karen some background questions. Something is not right with this grown woman crying when intimacy is discussed. Well, she didn't cry. She was just really avoidant. That's why I slide my little comments in there. So Pinky called me out on it. Franny Fresh, I saw that. Standards versus preferences. She need to let Miles go and set him free for me. Ooh, Dina. Dina says she waiting. Karen, you better not let him go. Karen says she want an assertive man. He jokes about sex and she freaks out. And writes it on the board. So what did y'all think about him writing on the board? I did not take that seriously at all. It completely came off as like, you know, it was already a tense situation because she didn't seem like she wanted to talk about that. So I feel like he was like trying to loosen it up a little bit, and maybe she took it the wrong way. She's the childish one in the relationship while she always want to throw that out. Exactly. Like she couldn't even have a serious talk about intimacy without getting visibly like uncomfortable. And that's he was joking. I thought he was joking. Miles is a nice guy, and dang. Miles is a nice guy. There's many women who don't like the nice guy. There's a reason why the nice guy finished last is a saying. I agree with you on that, Cliff. He was joking. I didn't take it seriously. Miles is a pleaser and he can't read the room. Maybe he can't. Maybe that is something he have an issue with. Maybe he don't know how to read the room. But I think he's just trying to. I think he calls himself being more assertive by, you know, pushing the conversation. I get why he said what he said about her calling the police on him. She is emotionally and sexually immature. Right. Because if she if the previews is what I think it is, I understand exactly why Miles said, "Well, I don't know if I kiss you if you gonna, you know, I don't know what you're gonna do." And she was like, "Well, I'm not gonna call the police." And he just like, "Well, I don't know." And he wrote that on the board as a joke, like, Tuesday, have sex with my wife. And on the next episode, she felt unsafe. That's why. That's why he doesn't take the initiative to do those certain things. She gives out so many mixed signals. Unsafe in a black man name does not. Oh man. Unsafe in a black man's name does not need to be in the same sentence unless you were talking about art. Now, some men might make you feel unsafe, but and maybe she did, but she definitely did not mean it like that. I mean, I don't think he meant it like that. What did Cliff say? Let me scroll back up. If Milo apologized for joking and act like he was the problem next week, I'm done with him. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't because he definitely did not mean it like that. And that would be so unfair if it gets framed like that. I mean, he should have known that she would have gotten upset, but Karen needs to calm down. But I like how he said that they are in it now. Can someone explain the colorist comments? I think I missed something. We was just saying how some people disguise preferences like wanting someone light skin with curly hair. They disguise it as a preference when really it's a colorist way of thinking. Maybe he meant to talk about having sex since she's uncomfortable now. So he put a date on it. Like he put a date on like talking about it. I don't know. All I know, it didn't seem like he was like, I'm gonna drag you to the bed on Tuesday. She has issues with intimacy, the pillow fort, the hammock, and the calendar. Feel unsafe. You guys are married and sleep in the bed. Girl, bye. Go sleep in another room. Maybe they agreed to discuss sex off camera, and he brought it up on purpose. She was so uncomfortable. Karen is on a high horse. She's constantly trying to make Miles prove himself while offering nothing. The host needs to light her up at the reunion. You already on a reunion? Right. I mean, I think the most that Karen has offered is cooking, and that's great. But you have to offer more than cooking. Miles needs to stop doing things for Karen. She gives him nothing. I agree with that. She thinks she's too good. Karen is cringy when she makes problems. She's so confusing. She's confusing to me too because the things she says in the confessional, I don't think she always portrays that in the moment. Like with the whole like her saying he crossed the boundary, she didn't look like she got really that upset in the moment or showed him that she was that upset, like how deeply hurt she was, how deeply hurt she was by that. Him writing down on the board, but in the confessional, like she was like, he crossed the boundary, and I didn't like that. But did you say that in the moment? I didn't get to read the whole comment, but someone said the segue was horrible from groceries to um intimacy. Actually, he was talking, if you remember, he was saying how, them getting grocery was a date, and she was like, no, it's not a date, which I agree, it's not a date. But he went from like, he was like, well, we could do concerts, we could do this, we could do that for dates, but then he transitioned from the dates to intimacy. He didn't go from groceries to intimacy. That would be kind of weird. Because I think some people were saying like, well, maybe she feels like he's doing all this just so he could get her in the bed, but I don't think that's the case, and I don't think it's unnatural for a man to want to sleep with his wife. He said it was a date because that's all she's giving him, surface stuff. Yeah, because I mean, he did try to set up that whole thing where his friend taught them how to cook or taught him how to cook. I think Miles is irritated by Karen. I could tell when they play back their scenes or when they mention Karen, he doesn't smile. I think even in the moment, like when he was trying to discuss intimacy and she was being like kind of standoffish about it, I think he was getting a little irritated. He was trying to like look, because she was like, well, let's just wait till we get there. And it's like, well, we are there. Like, we're married. Like, you being married takes you there. So I didn't see a problem with him wanting to talk about it. I don't think Amani really likes her either. Oh, why y'all think that? She's like Molly from season 6. I could see that. Oh my goodness, she do kind of act like Molly, but Molly was a lot more rude to her husband. But I can definitely get Molly vibes. The way Karen acting, I wouldn't hold the door for her. I would give her that same energy she gives me. Mm. Oh, so you're saying from like Amani and Karen's interactions on Unfiltered, y'all don't think that y'all don't think that she likes Karen. They don't vibe. Amani is down to earth. I do think it's interesting that Amani has, linked up with Olivia, but she hasn't linked up with Karen. That is interesting. And I watched part of the Unfiltered that they did together with it just them two, and they have actually met each other before. Like they have like circles of friends that know each other, so they've known each other before. And so the fact that they haven't linked up with just them two, or just those two couples, has been, that's kind of like odd to me. So maybe y'all could be right about that. Yeah, they have mutual friends. Y'all seen that too. Alexis, Karen is clinically goofy. I'm done with you. Then Molly wanted to act salty about John and the therapist. Um, yeah, she really didn't have a right to be salty because you was not nice to that man. Now it is a little shady that the therapist and John got together. I ain't gonna lie, that's very shady. But I mean, you didn't want him, so Molly didn't have no reason to be upset about that. From the Unfiltered, it also seems like Amani even has a good relationship with Miles. So I think Karen's approach to him is off-putting to everyone. Because everybody see that Miles is such a nice guy, so they're like, well, what's your problem? Karen says she wants someone masculine. He fixed her car, holds doors, carry bags, makes enough to support the household, and the feelings makes him feminine. If so, that's a very toxic mindset. You right, Franny. You right. Because I promise, like, I was in the middle of my review and I'm just like, Miles sat up there and fixed her car. It would not start and he fixed it. Now, I'm sure by her definition of masculine, he is. He just has to be. He fixed her car. I didn't I mean, unless they cut it out, they could have very well cut it out, but hopefully she at least gave him his props on that. It's not Amani's place to check her. I agree. Amani shouldn't have to check Karen. Really, it's not her business unless they come to her and like, Amani, help us with our relationship, you know. We see what the producers want us to see. Please remember that. I'm sure Woody, Amani, Karen, and Miles have gotten together. I'm sure they have, and they'll probably show that later in the season. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to Amani and Karen, I could see them. I could see it being a little bit off-putting between the two. Oh, girl, please. He fixed the car and recorded it for the world to know. That's not masculine. They're on a TV show where I'm sure the producers asked them to record their daily life when the cameras are not there. And how is that not masculine anyway? Do you know how many YouTubers there are that fix cars, that do a bunch of quote unquote masculine things and record it for YouTube? If your status ain't hood, I ain't checking for you. You better be street and masculine and emotionless. If he's looking at me, I need a soldier. JN, you crazy. Maybe Karen's dad can introduce her to his single, divorced widower friend. On the honeymoon, Amani was calling Karen her friend. Y'all think that has changed? Well, you know how black girls can be. When we be around other black girls and it's just us there, we automatically friends a lot of times. But going forward, you don't know what has happened. Um, she does say and do nice things for, I think, in a more friendly way. Her daddy is in his 70s. She seemed to like him more when their friends were around. No, Karen's dad didn't want to be on the show. That's why I'm like, how do y'all know how old her daddy is? Oh my goodness, we've been on here for an hour and 14 minutes. I did not mean to be on here that long. So I'm gonna be on here a few more minutes, y'all. I'm gonna be on here a few more minutes. If you're in here, make sure you leave a like. 186 people in the room. Wow. I'm sorry, cooking is doing something for someone. When you do something selfless, you get nothing out of it. She ate the food as well. Ugh. I'm gonna need for Karen to do something for Miles next episode. I'm gonna need for her to do something, like you said, that's not for her too. I do think cooking can be a little bit of a cop out if we're talking about, doing something for Miles. Especially since he fixed her car, you know. He walked her down the aisle. I need to go back and watch. Cause I could have sworn they said the daddy didn't want to be on the show. Maybe he was just in the wedding, but he didn't want to be like, do confessionals and stuff. Karen and Miles are closer than they appear. I'm not buying the editing. I mean, I wouldn't deny that, but I still think she's closed off in certain ways. Obviously, she's closed off in the intimacy category. She didn't even want to talk about it. I don't think they could edit that. We know she won't, Pinky. Don't hold your breath. The gray-haired man is her dad. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. But I distinctly remember them saying that the dad didn't want to be on the show. Yeah, I saw the previews for the next episode when they were doing yoga and they all on each other like that. Amani is down to earth, easy going. Dang, I missed it. But yeah, I agree with that. Um, why would she want to hang out with Karen? I think Karen is uptight a little bit because her mom did say she was shy and quiet. So maybe it takes her a while to warm up to strangers. But this your husband. You chose to get married at first sight. And like I said on my review, you chose to put 20 on 10. So you at least got to do the speed limit and not go the speed of a turtle. Y'all think Karen is the female Henry? Yeah, I heard about Deanna and Greg. I put their picture up at the very beginning. I had to spread the good news. On this week's Unfiltered, Miles and Woody's faces said it all. I have to watch this week's Unfiltered because y'all keep talking about it. Shine quiet is a cop out. People want Karen to blossom like Deanna, and it's not in the car. Kayla, you don't know. She might. Y'all really saying she the female version of Henry? I honestly, I don't think I'm not gonna put her on that level. Ladies, we don't have to give it up just because the man is nice. I'm not saying give it up, CB. I'm not saying give it up. I'm saying have the conversation. I'm saying have the conversation. They are married. They should be able to talk about intimacy, like whether they're gonna have it tomorrow or not. Like they should be able to discuss those things. That's the same thing, you know, a lot of people criticize Iris for. And while I do think she got a bad edit on some things they agreed they didn't want to talk about on camera, right? But I don't know if obviously Karen and Miles haven't made that agreement because he brought it up on camera. And I just don't see anything wrong with a man wanting to talk to his wife about intimacy. Like, you got married at first sight, sex should be an option for you. I I think people should go at whatever pace they feel comfortable with, honestly. A mature Kayla, I can hardly read your comments because I'm reading them in your voice. A mature grown woman like she claims to be could discuss it. Fair. Because I do feel like she pushes this maturity thing with him. He's too young. She pushes this masculine thing. And if you're gonna talk about maturity and being grown, you should be able to talk about intimacy. That should be something in your repertoire you should be able to discuss. And you're right too. Intimacy could mean a lot of things besides just sleeping with each other. Exactly. Married at first sight is not for you if you want to take things slow. Um, I totally agree with everything except for sleeping with each other because I do think that is something that both people have to be ready for. No, Caitlyn doesn't want Miles because she's married. CB in here giving Cliff a run for his money. It's usually Cliff with all these unpopular opinions. Should have known she had intimacy problems when she sat up in the hammock like a pair of starched pants. Oh. That's it, Franny. It's like you don't have to give it up, but you like they already are doing like somewhat of intimate things. I mean, they've kissed each other, they've hugged each other. Um, you know, I feel like Miles is, trying to ease a little bit more intimacy in it. So it doesn't just have to be sleeping with each other. They should be making progress. A conversation is not asking too much. I agree with that. I agree with that. No, we ain't doing that. Hold on. No, we ain't doing that. Cliff was here first. You better stop. CB, if you don't mind me asking, are you a man or a woman? Because I just want to know if it's a man. If I just want to know if men want to come up in here and just hijack things and throw a wrench and stuff every now and then. Her neck was so stiff in that hammock. Like, just lay into the man. Lay into him. Y'all in it? Need to carry some oil to pour on that 10-man. Caitlin, shut up. uh, CB is a woman? Okay. I think Iris would have been a better match. I Iris gets a pass because she was a virgin. Um, I don't know about a pass because you still got married. Like, I think you should be able to have those conversations. And if you go on TV, y'all should not make a pact before you go on the show and say you're not going to talk about it, because that's the whole reason for like doing something like this on TV. Caitlin is crazy. Don't put Iris on Miles. I think they actually could have been a good match. Y'all don't think Iris would have been a good match? I do. Only because I feel like Miles would have the patience, and I think he would do things like he would do romantic things, like the little thing where he brought his friend that's a chef over and learn how to cook together. He would do little things like that, and like he would do little things that could make her more comfortable and make her actually maybe want to have those conversations. I think you know you just have to look at the situation for what it was. She was with Keith and he wasn't as accommodating as uh we remember. Like, I think we was looking at the situation wrong because of how it was edited. Iris would have been great for Miles. I think so. No, the virgin community was holding Iris' feet to the fire. Miles would have opened her up, and Iris, I feel would respond better. Keith was forced into church, and when he got grown, he rebelled. Is that what he said? Cliff, I'm not messing with you. I'm protecting my peace. I know he in here cutting up. I'm missing his comments, but I know he in here cutting up. Iris was willing, not right away. Miles would have ushered her in. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, both of their partners, like, we're not giving them exactly what they need, but I feel like Miles and Iris will both be willing to give each other those things. Iris said her and Keith did stuff, just not it. She did say that, and I was quite shocked when she did say that. Yes, he talked about how his grandparents were pastors. Oh, 189 people in here. Make sure you leave a like. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out, y'all. It's been almost an hour and 30 minutes. I did not plan to be on here that long, but I feel like we had a pretty good discussion here. I always have a good time with y'all. Y'all are hilarious. And y'all be having some good points, some good opinions. Y'all always have me thinking from a little bit of a different perspective. Cause people like Cliff and CPCN come in here, get their opinions. So shout out to y'all. And I hope you have a good night. I have a rant that I'm gonna be dropping. I'm gonna try to drop it Monday. And it's I haven't had a chance to watch anything like that I was gonna do a rant on. So I did an unpopular opinions about Black sitcoms. You got a date. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to do it for Monday. I've already recorded it, so I just have to edit. Um and so look out for that. And obviously I'm gonna be doing these reviews. And oh yeah, if you have TikTok, follow me on TikTok. It's LaVidaRosa _. And yeah, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you in my next one. Good night.